evening, everyone. Welcome back to another of our live stream. And it's been a very hot minute since we were last here, but hey, we're back and we're coming back better. And today we're talking about something that has really been hitting home for every one of us, and it's not other topic of resumes. But before we get into that topic, I have two very special guests with us today. Mark Verbist, our new DVP of Professional Development, and Dan drumroll, John Signo, the big elephant in the room today. And so before we get started, I'll just let Mark briefly introduce himself and take it from there. Mark, it's all yours.
Yeah. Thanks, Henry. And Mark Verbist, I'm a new DVP on the PMI San Diego chapter, program manager with us. And I met John, the PMI Global Summit. Tremendous impression on me and doing it. So John Land, and he's been individuals navigate their job search and so and about more about this will introduce himself and then our upcoming larger workshop. So excited about that. So welcome.
All right. And John,
So,
I know you've been waiting for this. Take it away. Tell us briefly about yourself.
all right. So thank you for having me, folks. My San Diego. My name is John Signo. I've been doing brand event for quite some time. I am currently employed at Bank of America, and I just want to do a quick disclaimer. I've been with them for over 6 years, but the views that I state here are my own, out of the bank or its affiliates. Okay, there are also some things that we're going to tell during this event regarding any websites, any type of service, etc. We are not sponsored by them, and please use them at your discretion. What we're going to do today is talk about resumes. We're going to touch up on those items, right? And then we're going to also address what I call the elephant in the room, right? It's something that's nipping us up, but if you haven't seen it, if you haven't heard it, you must have, right? So could you go ahead and show the deck I was showing, Henry?
Yeah. It's all good. It's just I think your mic is cutting out just a little bit there. Is it just
Okay.
a mic?
Is that better?
Well, it sounds better
Let me
to
read
me.
it. Is that better?
Right. To any of our guests out there listening, if there's anything any minor issues with our mics, just feel free right there and we'll get to it straight away. So John, awesome background. We're glad to have you. I know we've been really excited about this live stream and having you with us here at PMI San Diego. And we can't lie, everybody has felt this recent unsettlement in the professional world in the last year or two since the pandemic, and resumes have become a hot topic right now.
Right.
Tell us, what is a good resume in your own opinion?
So there's a ton of resumes out there that you can create, right? But it all depends. If you got to read the description. You got to read the job description. If it's asking for immediately for certifications or degrees, you want to place that at the top, because remember, any recruiter will tell you this as well. When somebody's reading the resume, they're going to scan the first 3/4 of the page, and it's got to catch their eye. And then you got to be able to go ahead and look at it and say, yeah, put up the presentation, please, Henry. All right, because I'm going to touch on the key point. Nope, not pressing that button. Go all the way to the beginning.
And let's go all the way to page 1 right there.
All right, here. Let's go. So we did instructions. We're gonna do resumes part, but go down to the next page. I'm sorry.
Right, John. Just before, sorry to interrupt you. Before we continue, I'm getting some feedback here. I think your mic is cutting out just a little bit right there.
Okay. How about that much?
Yeah, I'm getting
Let's
feedback
see
from.
if I can change. Is that better? I'm changing the. Hey, Chucky, how are you? I can see you. Is that better or worse?
I think it's still
Yeah,
the same.
still choppy to me as well.
Do you?
No. We can't hear.
No, now we've lost him.
Okay, hold on. Better or worse?
Oh, we can
Uh,
an echo now.
yeah,
Oh.
I'm trying to see if I can get rid of the echo on my end. Try say something again now. Oh no, now we don't have no voice.
I think.
All right, just bear with us for a quick minute
Yeah,
there
sorry
while
about
we
this,
get
folks.
this. While
Is
we
that
get
better
this.
or worse?
It's better.
Okay,
Seems to
say
be better.
something. Just say something.
Okay. So, folks, there's something that I also use. It's a mantra that we have. If you are more fortunate than others, it's better to build a longer table than a taller fence. Is that good? How's volume?
Yeah, I think.
Right.
Can you noise
Oh, Chakri's basically saying
cancellation?
better now.
It's better now. If you can remove the noise settings, maybe that will help.
I did that already.
Right. I think it's maybe just maybe the mic you're using. Is it? It's an external mic, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I switched over to the internal microphone now.
We could try the internal microphone if you would like that.
Yeah, sorry about this, folks.
No worries, no worries. Just
Closer.
let's get this sorted.
Closer to the screen. Sorry, Henry. Go ahead.
No problem.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna switch the audio area. Let's go for.
In the meantime, we can all be jealous. Great pictures of John there on the.
So yeah, in the meantime, that's a brief profile of John right there on the screen. It's pretty impressive, and yeah, hopefully we get that mic fixed and we get all of the word. There's this word that John and Mark used earlier when we were talking last week. You can get all of those golden nuggets, John.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm waiting for that.
All right.
What's going on over here? Can you guys hear me better or worse?
We hear you, but
yeah, I don't. I've got echo off, turned on or turned off. Let me try one.
You have another screen turned on there.
No, I don't have another screen. This is the only one.
Let me see what I can pull on this.
Okay, try that. Is that better?
Better.
Okay.
Perfect.
Right.
Sorry about that. We're glad to have you back. So, back to the topic. Resumes. You were saying something about it.
So the resumes, let's go ahead and go to the next page real quick.
Next page.
Slide. All right, next one after this one.
Next one after this.
All right, so resumes, folks. This is the key part. I've seen resumes where, the person basically says, John, I got well over 15, 20 years worth of experience, and I want to put them all out there. And they give me the resume, and I print it out. I'm like, wait a minute. Are you seriously using 6-point font? Right? This is something that whoever's reading it will immediately put it to the side and say, no, this person doesn't qualify because they're making me squint and I want to be able to read it. So folks, if you can't fit it in a 10 to 12-point font, preferably Arial or New Times Roman, right? You need to modify that. You also need to go with no more than 2 pages, unless they request you to go ahead and expand on a certain section or a certain skills that you had at a job, an experience that you had in the past. Also, here's one other item, bullet point number 3. Send it as a docx file or a document file, a Word document, not a PDF, okay? not a PDF, because what happens is a PDF, if you upload it to an applicant tracking system, it's not ATS friendly, I should say. So ATS stands for applicant tracking system. What it'll do is it'll do a lot of wonky things to it. It actually, I can show you, for an example, right? I can show you where the circled bullet, right, turns into an upside down question mark. And that's the last thing you need. Because when the applicant tracking system uploads your PDF file and it fills it with a lot of upside down question mark, it's a big question mark, right? And it just doesn't look right. I've seen it so that the bottom section of the resume goes up to the top and it's not legible at all. So folks, circulating back, 10 to 12.5, Arial, New Times Roman, right? No more than 2 pages unless they ask for additional information, and make sure that you send a docx file, not a PDF, and make sure it's ATS friendly. What I mean by ATS friendly is look for those keywords that it's looking for, okay, that qualifies you for the position. You want to make sure that, there's a rating that's out there in the applicant tracking system. It basically says you got to pass 75%. Unless you pass 5%, you're going to get that dreaded email that basically says, hey, thanks for trying, but unfortunately, we're going to go a different direction, right? And again, the last bullet point right on the left side, the first 1/3 of the page is crucial. Yeah, some will read 3/4 of the page, but the first 1/3 of the page is crucial. So look at the job description, read through it. If the first couple lines are indicating must have a bachelor's degree or master's degree or experience equivalent, put that inside. Another thing that you want to do is put in a professional summary. And in that summary, that is essentially your sales, right? Find those keywords that it's looking for in the job description and put that in the very first area. And also tell a little bit of story about yourself, how you got to where you're at, kind of like your elevator speech. Put that. I know it's going to be hard, but you can do it within the first 1/3 to 3/4 of the page. Okay, the faster the better, because you want to catch their eye also. Here's another secret to it. Okay, for resumes, if you want a keyword to stick out, what's the best way? You bold it. But of course, don't bold every word out there, right? Choose the key ones. Choose those key skills, and they stick out, and they'll see it, because when the person prints it out, they're automatically reading the bolded items, right? But don't go out there and start putting so many different types of bold, italic, also different types of bullet points that are there. I've seen one that consisted of 4 different types of bullets. They had one that was an arrow, one that was a diamond, one that was a circle. I'm like, wow, it looked cool, but it actually didn't do well through the applicant tracking system, right?
So it was literally doing more harm than good.
That's right. That's right. And also remember, the applicant tracking system. What is it? Let's be real. Let me ask a question, audience. What do you think it is? It's a computer. It's machine, right? And if you're out there sending a picture, or let's say a logo, okay, it doesn't read that. It doesn't see colors either. And by the way, if you do a certain color because you're using it for a graphic designer or something that has to deal with color, right? Be mindful of the colors that you choose. I highly suggest that you choose the colors that the company uses. Like for example, Southwest Airlines or McDonald's, they use the yellow and like the burnt orange color, right? If you're going to be a graphic designer for McDonald's, then put those inside. But be very careful. Try not to make it, and I hate to use the word, but you don't want to make it like a clown resume, right? It's too colorful. Because remember, again, you got to get through the applicant tracking system. It's a machine. It doesn't really read colors. It doesn't really read pictures. And you don't, I can debate this with anybody, but I say don't ever put your picture on a resume. Okay. They don't need a picture out there, because another part about a resume, now we're going to start getting into the, cybersecurity awareness part. One, don't put your address on the resume. Okay. Don't put your full address inside, because in the end, you don't know who that's going to, right? And if you also put your picture inside there, now I know what you look like. Now I know where you live. Now I know your phone number, right? And if I stay in front of your house or apartment, whatever, I'll know you're home. How do I know? Because you put a picture inside there. Okay, and that's why I tell you, don't put your full address in there as well, in the resume, right? Because you want to be, you want to have some level of privacy out there. Now, if they basically say, "Hey, yeah, we want your full address," there really isn't a need until the job is offered. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
really cool. Yeah, I want.
I'm really glad you mentioned that.
It's
Oh, go ahead, Mark. Sorry.
yeah. I was just adding to what John, like, we we used to see where to show the recruiter her skills, and so we want to present it with all the dots and color to make it
Right.
stand out somehow. Uh, Read it, but at the end, something very, very critical nowadays, they go through that, and if you don't pad it step, then you're just nobody is going to be seeing that.
Yeah.
Oh, now it's
So
me.
Mark, your voice is a little bit choppy there. Sorry about that.
Yeah. I think it's a lot of the extra microphones, they do that. They
Mhm.
maybe not connect. So there's that breaking connection to your system. So it cuts the audio.
Okay.
You
Well, I'll tell you
speak.
what, I'm going to continue talking about more in resumes on how to be able to be effective. Ready? Here's a couple more golden nuggets for you guys. Another thing I
Let's
want you
get
to
it.
do is I want you to go ahead and email yourself your resume. If you're out into the job market, email yourself your resume, right? Because this actually happened to me. I'll share this story now. I'll share it in the Brandland event on March 4th. But I emailed myself my resume. I went over to a job fair. I brought 10 resumes with me, and I went and visited the certain areas, and I dropped off my resume, talked to them briefly. Right, you've got approximately 60 to 90 seconds to talk to that recruiter, and you got to make it impactful. But after I was done, I was going down the elevator, and there they were, recruiters from AIG. And I did my elevator pitch as we were going down the elevator. I know, 10 seconds, right? And then they loved what I had to offer. And they asked me, "Do you have a resume?" And I said, "No, I don't. But I'll tell you what, I know that I emailed myself one." So I went over to my smartphone, right? And I found my email to myself, clicked on forward, and I gave it to both recruiters. I said, "Here you go. Put your email address inside there, and I'll send it to you." So they both grabbed put their email addresses inside there, and I clicked on send. What did I just do? They said, "Oh wow, you already had that inside. You streamlined the process. You're well equipped." That's correct. But here's another thing that I did. I just got their email address. They just gave it to me. So there's no need for me to be able to try and find them or wait for them to respond. 2 days later, I emailed them back and said, "Hey, I'm still interested in the position." So there you go. Email yourself your resume, folks. Then you make yourself more effective. Because here's another thing: you never know who's going to be around. Says, "Hey, you're in the job. You have a resume? Yeah, sure. Let me go ahead and take your email address, and I'll send it to you later." Why wait? You have it sent to yourself, right? But let me tell you now about resumes. You're going to have more than one version of your resume, okay? Because you're going to cater that resume to the job description. And in the Brandon Land event area, we're going to show you how to be able to do that one, right? Unfortunately, I know this is only a 30-minute event today, right? I know that it's a 5-hour session. Henry, I'd like you to go back one page real quick up on the deck.
There we go.
This is what we're going to do at the Brandon Land event. We're going to start off with something called Pi, and we're going to do the resume piece, and we're also going to do the LinkedIn, and then get to the applicant tracking system. So I want you to think of that as a 5-hour movie where we're going to show you how each piece plays an integral part. We pull it all in together for you, and I'll over to the bottom right. You see those golden nuggets, Mark? Remember those golden nuggets? I'm coming up with at least 3 or 4
Yeah,
more new for you.
There we
yeah,
go, Mark.
that was really a key.
Yeah,
Guys?
yeah. It was an eye opener, right? I know you're out there now, you're using them like crazy
Yes.
and you're getting the attention, and that's the part, right? You're going to start at high. We're going to go to resume and tell you what you're missing, what you're supposed to do. And I've given you a couple pointers tonight. And then we're going to tie it into LinkedIn. And if you're out there in the audience and you've got your resume on LinkedIn, first thing I want you to do is yank it out of it. And I'll tell you why. Because in the end, LinkedIn is your entire resume. But if you take the one that you have and you gave, right, but it doesn't match the one you posted in LinkedIn, they're going to start questioning something's wrong. No, nothing's wrong, right? It's all inside LinkedIn. And then we'll show you how to take that and get across the applicant tracking to land that interview. Okay.
All right.
And I'm going to guarantee you guys after that event, you guys are going to get a lot of traction on LinkedIn. I know Mark did, right? So Mark, let the audience know. Everybody found out who you were after.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's good that you are sharing a picture here because not go through all of it in the but we're trying it's sharing a glimpse of it with this on the resume golden nuggets of for like everyone's success in the um, personal brand and then raising after this next job the is something that like something that I ignore, you know, and now I that awareness still breaking up.
Yeah, you're still breaking up there, Mark. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, is it better? No.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
it's a little bit better.
Yeah. So um, try to say that the whole process be explaining whole and then and that's why we have event. But everything to pass this application, that's the goal, that interview
That's the goal.
and get the
All right. Sweet. Sounds good. Sounds good. So before we go ahead and start to continue talking about brand and land or the events upcoming, I'm sure people watching have questions they've been wanting to get answers to. And I have a couple of questions myself. Because you already answered some of them during your presentation. I still had this question. So I know you said something about submitting resume in docx file as opposed to PDF. I know there's been that argument over time, which is better, PDF, docx, Canva, whatever, Photoshop, and all that good stuff. So I know that most people suggest either submitting it in a docx or a PDF, but you said docx is the best. I was wondering why would you prefer docx as opposed to PDF? Because I know when you submit a docx file, it doesn't save the format at which you formatted your resume, and when they get it on the other hand, sometimes the system might have tampered with your format, put it in a different way, slightly different way to as opposed to what you sent it out as. But a PDF, I felt it's safer. It locks in your format as it is, and doesn't really tamper much with it. So I want to know the backstory why you feel PDF isn't a good option.
There's an applicant tracking system. It's called the Taleo, right? And that's the one that when it does a screen scrape of a PDF, and you built it from a Word document that has a lot of tables inside it. It actually will take those tables, and when you do a select all, it actually selects the bottom first, and then sends that up, and then selects the rest, sends it up. So in short, your resume doesn't look like the way you formatted it.
So is it just that one ATS, the Taleo that does that, or all ATS?
Correct. No, just the Taleo. But here's the thing, ready? As you're submitting, you don't know which one's going to be. But I work, so I work with all of the recruiters over Bank of America as well as J. Walter Thompson, right? They said, yeah, the Taleo is the one that does that.
All right. So
Again,
another question now.
to maximize, you want to maximize your ability, right? To you
Right.
don't have to, you don't want to have to guess which is this the Taleo or not. Use a DOCX because no matter what, it'll go all the way across.
All right.
Okay.
So now this question.
Here's another. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry. Yeah.
Here's another thing that I want you guys to look at, and I'm gonna state this now. There's a lot of people out there who are trying to game the system, I call it, right? And they're taking keywords and key skills and putting them over in the white space area, and then they're taking the font color and changing it from black to white. So when they look at it on the screen, they don't see that hidden word, right? Don't do that. Don't do that at all. Okay.
Right.
Is it okay to put tables to organize the content in your resume? Chuck Reed, no, it is not okay to use tables, right? That's why it goes wonky in the PDF area. I recommend that you go ahead and you can use columns, right, to list out all of your different skills in a nice format, but never use tables. I know that Microsoft Word has a resume template that's out there. I highly suggest you don't use that one. Again, you want to make it applicant tracking system friendly. That's the key.
All right. So again, another question. So you said only Taleo does that wonky business with the resume. Now my question is, how many companies use Taleo? Is it most widely used, or is it just a few companies that use it?
I don't know if they've adapted to any new ones, right? So it all depends, Henry. I can't answer. I'm gonna say 30-40% use Taleo. So,
Okay.
but you won't know until you get there. And when you get there, some of them will tell you what type it is. Others won't. I know that Sabre and American Airlines is Taleo.
Gotcha.
So give me the ones. I'd be more than happy to look at it for you and say, okay, that's this or that. But again, instead of having to try and figure out which one it is, use the Word document, DOCX.
All right.
And you
so
talk more about white color keywords. I have never heard of this before, but sounds could be beneficial. No. It's not beneficial. It's not a beneficial thing here, Cameron. It's not at all. Okay. My comment was, don't do that. Okay. Because actually hiding that keyword, and you may not have that skill or that experience. And I've seen people do that, and they'll actually blacklist you and say, no, that was a no, right? Don't do that at all. So Cameron, it is not benefit. It's actually more detrimental.
Yeah, it's more like a backdoor. People try to get to make sure their resume goes through the ATS. So they kind of put those words hide it in the resume. But to the physical eyes, it's not being seen. But the ATS can scan through all of that and rings it up, and then the recruiter sees the resume and is like, "What is happening here?" And so, Cameron, we will not advise you do that. So forget about it being beneficial.
It's quite all right, Cameron. You're all good. Yeah. But again, just don't do that. Here's the thing, folks. If you're thinking about doing it and you have to put it inside there and you don't have that skill, don't apply for the job. It's not for you. It really isn't for you. You want to find the spot that works for you. And if you're saying that, hey, look, the applicant tracking system, I only match by 30%, then perhaps that job is really for you. And if you want to segue into it, then come join us over at the Brandonland area. We'll be able to show you how to do that, right? Because I've taught school teachers to go from being school teachers, they are now project managers at a financial organization. It took them 2 years because they got to follow the process. They got to follow a roadmap. I'd be more than happy to show you what that is. Okay. Now I'm going to address the elephant in the room.
But just before you address that elephant in the room, I know we promised it's going to be a 30-minute live stream, but we've had some technical issues, and I think we're about to bring it to an end. But before before we do, if you have any questions for John, now is the time. We'll give it a little bit more, about 5 to 10 minutes more, and we're out of here. So don't hold back on those questions. Let them roll in now. It's now or never. John, back to you real quick.
Okay. Addressing the elephant in the room. If you haven't heard of Chat GPT, it's that new AI thing that's happening right now. It's openai.io, right? And I did try it out, and I told it, hey, here's my resume. Create a cover letter for me. You know what it did? It did one. It was great, but I said no. I would not submit that. Don't just you screen scrape it and copy it and put it in a Word document or submit it in the in your submission. Look at it, model, okay. Make sure that it is down to the T for you because, yeah, welcome to AI area. You know that that the open AI the open AI folks hit a chord because Google, Microsoft, they're all scrambling. They're basically saying we need to get into this, right? So I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm saying when you use ChatGPT, make sure you don't take the raw one that they gave you or that it created for you. Don't just submit that. Read it, look at it, make sure it resonates with you. That's the key. Okay. And what I'm going to do on March 4th, at the end of the event, I'll actually take one of the Fab Three and we're going to create a cover letter for them using
Sounds good.
Chat.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds good. I know talking about resumes, we honestly cannot do it in 30 minutes. We cannot do it in 5 hours. It's like days long conversation. So I know there's an event very soon, a PMI San Diego, and Mark is one of those people putting it together. And of course, the guest speaker is John Signo, which we've all been having the pleasure of for the last 30 minutes. So I'd like John to tell us briefly about this program coming up March, right?
March, yes, March 4th.
Right. Just give us a quick rundown. What this program is about, what we hope to achieve with this program, and when it is, time, date, everything, all that good stuff.
Sure. So it's on March 4th. Starts. So I'm going to go based on Central Time. I'd like to say so. -2, so it's 8 a.m. Pacific Time, and it'll end 5 hours later. So for me, it's going to be 10 o'clock in the morning until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But based on the audience participation, we do tend to give anywhere between 30 minutes and 60 minutes additional at the end area to answer as many questions as the audience has, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to teach you about what you're doing right now, how you're doing things and why you're doing things wrong. And that's pie. We're gonna show you how to eat your daily slice of pie and how to help yourself get noticed by the hiring managers or wherever you're working right now. So this works for both unemployed and employed workers, right? And then we're going to show you your resume. And then we're going to show you your LinkedIn page, what you're missing. Okay. I'm going to be focusing on the Fab Three. We've already got those folks in line, but I know that one of those Fab Three folks is going to resonate with anybody that's in the audience. Okay. Then after that, we're going to take one of the Fab Three. We're going to put their resume through the applicant tracking system. I'm going to show them how to be able to land that interview. Okay. And
Sounds
then,
good.
like I promised now, we'll use Chat GPT to create a cover letter. There's a question, I think, how do I step backwards and take a coordinator position when I already have a senior project? I need to change
All right.
it from human capital management to Blue Cross Blue Shield insurance. What should my cover letter look like?
All right,
That's
John.
the part where,
Before you answer
yes.
that, I'm quick. Just say something real quick. Why do you think of an answer for that, or get your answer ready for it? So I know these questions are going to be coming. There are a lot of questions to be answered, but we have a lot of wonderful programs tailored to help our PMI San Diego members and friend and family of PMI San Diego members. So I will encourage that you take a look at the events section of LinkedIn page and the website. Look out for those PMI San Diego chapter emails with the events scheduled for the month. I know tomorrow we definitely have a very, very interesting program coming up as well. I think it's a very interesting speaker. I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but it's coming. It's an online program
Laura.
also tomorrow. Sorry.
Yeah, Henry. Um, Tomorrow, the secret to
Yeah.
the execution gap presented by Laura Bonner, PM
Yeah.
to 5:30. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So
the strategy.
it's the the PMO, the secret of finally crossing the strategy execution gap, and it's hosted by Laura Bernard. It promises to be an exciting program. For those of you that are interested, it's 4 to 8 p.m. tomorrow. I think it's online. So, go ahead, check out all of this on our website, get registered, jump on that wagon. It is going to be beneficial to you. The brand and land also coming up March 4th by none other but one and only John Signo. You also want to catch that. I know we cannot honestly, or it's not possible for us to answer all of your questions today or go into all of the good details, the nitty gritty of what needs to be done to get things right for you to, like John says, to brand you and land your job. So you don't want to miss this event. You want to catch it and be a part of it. That is the only place you can get most of your questions, if not all of it answered. And of course, you can always reach out to John, discuss with him in his spare time. I think his Instagram, sorry, his LinkedIn page is John Signo. So it's pretty simple. Look for John Signo on LinkedIn. You'll see his profile there with all of his credentials, PMP, PGMP, and all of that good stuff all listed there. That's how you know you found the right John Signo. So make sure you check out the PMI San Diego page. All of these events are right there. Laura Bernard's event coming up tomorrow. We're running quick out of time, but I want John to answer that question that Kenneth asked, and then we'll call it a day. So, John, please, be my guest.
That basically want to step backwards and take a coordinator position. But so you're changing industries. You need to be able to have that resonate in your cover letter, as well as show that show what your experience is in the current area that you're in, and any skill set that you have that would move into the new industry. Okay. Now they may view you as overqualified, but therein lies the sweet spot. That's the part where you come in and you basically give them a story, and I'll tell you what the story is, right? So let's say that Mark is looking for a brain surgeon, right? Because he's going to have brain surgery done, and I've got all the qualifications that he needs, but I happen to be a thoracic, along with a regular doctor, along with cardiac, and along with pulmonary, right? Now, you're probably saying, my God, you're overqualified. All we're looking for is just a regular brain surgeon. Well, what I bring to the table, and this is the part that you need to let them know, is, when you're operating on somebody and they're getting a heart attack, bottom line is, I'm the type of doctor that says, hold up, give me the crash cart, I'll revive the patient because I'm already experienced in that. But what I'm doing here is I'm providing that not just as being overqualified, but as something that you can use in your company. So in short, you want to step back as a coordinator, that's true, but in the end, you also have the skill sets that they're looking for just in case they want other folks to learn, right? But you're there to learn their industry as well. That's the key. Okay.
All right. So there we have it. I know time flies by really fast when you're having fun, but unfortunately, all good things come to an end, and it's time to bring this to an end. John, before we leave, is there anything you'd like to leave our guests, our viewers with? Any
Sure. You ready?
pattern
So here's the
to
thing. Here's the thing, folks. Okay. Whether you're employed or you're unemployed, learn to sharpen your saw. We're about to give you the secret recipe to be able to, here's you, here's the other applicant, right? You're going to rise to the top. And they're going to wonder, how the heck did they do that? We're going to show you the secret.
All right, I like it. I like it. Leaving it mysterious and, making you want more. So definitely. And I'm going to just put this comment right there from Chakri. That is the link to all of the great events PMI San Diego has for you for the near future. You definitely want to keep an eye out for the events. Again, tomorrow we're having that event with Laura Bernard at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard. It's going to be online. We want to make sure you get registered for that. March 4th, we have the continuation, or let's just say the main meal for this wonderful talk with John. So you want to mark that on your calendar. You want to register. You don't want to miss it. Come with your resumes. Come with your questions. Come ready to learn. Come ready to brand yourself and land that job. Definitely want to keep that date in mind. And Chakri, thank you for putting that link out there. Mark, John, it's been a pleasure having you guys here. For all of our viewers out there, we hope we could answer most of your questions and at least clear some of those conflicting thoughts in your head. And we hope that you join us in the next event. Let's continue to help each other. Let's continue to build and let's continue to be great together. Until we see you next time on our live stream, we say enjoy the rest of the day. Have a wonderful week and stay blessed. Bye now.